This is really an incredible story out of Glendale. A man who spent 30 years living on the streets.
He now has a place to call home after getting the keys to his brand new house, and today he told us how he made this dream a reality.
Okay.
Very good. It's a great feeling walking into your first home, but it is especially moving for a 46-year-old named Marcos Torres. This first-time homeowner spent 3 decades living on the streets.
You know, because I was homeless in San Diego. That was the last stop I had, because I was all over different cities homeless.
So how did he go from being homeless to moving into a new home? It took a lot of hard work over the course of 3 years and a little help from a program called Trellis.
One of my pastors, assistant pastor in my church, Pastor Emmanuel, he brought the Trellis program to our church on a Sunday night. And they explained the whole program and background. So I called him right away the next day. And
Marcos found a job and established credit. And Trellis connected him to a federal program that eventually helped him get his 2-bedroom home in Glendale. He says it's much bigger than the last room he was renting.
And this last one, I've been here about 3 months of this last one, and the room is a little bit smaller than the large room here. So I don't know what I'm going to do with all this room.
Marcos is looking forward to moving all of his stuff into his new place, but it's still a shock to see where he is now compared to where he was 3 years ago.
You know, I guess it hasn't hit me yet, but maybe later on it will, and I don't know. To be here, I'm glad to be off the streets.
He also says his faith helped him along the way.
But it wasn't for the Lord, you know, it was the Lord who brought me out of darkness, and he took me off the streets.
It's great. Marcos has already got some projects planned around the house. That's what happens when you get a house. All of a sudden, the projects start piling up.
Oh, yeah, the list.
And he says the house also needs to be furnished, so that's on his list as well.